Rise and shine, family. Welcome to Truth Factory Studios, where we break theory apart with truth and fact, because the truth will set you free, and the fact is the best foundation to build upon. All this is to be aimed into making the best version of yourself your new religion. Let's go.
Slid in the DMs.
Yeah.
We linked up.
He wasn't my type at all. My type was actually Paul Walker recipes. But he wasn't my type at all. And my type is not white. I'm just saying I was more interested in
touch me.
Paul and every Fast and Furious.
Don't touch me.
And even when I met him, I was like, he's kind of old.
So guys, I want you to see here, look at Tyrese's body language. You hear her piling on, and of course, she's being disrespectful, and she is emasculating him. But I want to show you guys something real quick. Let's focus on Tyrese for a moment here. Look at his body language. He doesn't like what she's saying, but the way he is handling it is he's being more reactive. This is more of an emotional response. And typically, when you respond to your partner in this way, it comes off as sensitive. What a man should do is just simply say what is okay and what is not okay, and if she continues that behavior, walk away. You really need a journal. Write down the things that's happened in this relationship so you can come back to them, because what will happen is you'll cross over this, you'll get past this moment and you'll forget. And what will happen is things will pile up and you're not addressing these issues. You're letting them go over, okay? She says that she's had this conversation with him before, and she's so freely willing to have this conversation again because it went over the first time. If he's so upset now, he didn't show this then. He should have just not responded here, because this acknowledges that he was hurt. Now it's everywhere. He can't control her, but what he should do is control his reality by walking away from her. So once the video ends, he should have just broke up with her. But he'll say, I got 2 years with her. She's kind to me. She's this and that. She means this much to me, using emotion and memories to hold on to a person rather than noticing what they're doing right now as a pattern that will continue in the future and likely be the downfall of the relationship. As men, we must make these decisions. So when I say Tyrese is underdeveloped, I don't mean in fortune and fame and in work ethic, but I do mean in relationships, he takes more than he is worth, or he allows himself to be treated beneath his worth, okay, his value. Because he is such a capable man, he should only be with a woman who sees him as valuable, who doesn't mistreat him this way. We all say that if we get the money, then the respect will come, right? If we establish ourselves, then we can go get a wife who will respect us for what we have done, because we are a provider, right? Because we are established and reached a status, they'll treat us a certain way. Well, the way you actually earn that, family, is you move around from women who treat you negatively. You're not just going to get a beautiful woman who's sweet and kind and submissive and feminine just walk up to you because you're successful. What you're actually going to have is a whole slew of unvaluable, low vibrational women who want to use you for what you have. You have to vet to find that charm. That's why you're a hunter, not because you're hunting an animal, but you're a treasure hunter. You're vetting these women that's coming towards you, looking for a precious jewel, and the jewel will have characteristics, not features. So we're getting lost in features and body type and breasts and booty size, and they can just go all to that. What we should be looking at is the character of a person. And when we don't get the behavior we want, we shouldn't be reactive to every little thing they say with an argument or you hurt me type of thing, because they don't respect it. That will not get you the respect you deserve. So the best thing to do is to move away from a person who's behaving this way. You don't have to argue back and forth. If you don't like how you're being treated, simply move away. They'll learn the hard way. They'll know the last time I said that to a guy, he left me alone. So that's not wise to say that again. But if you stay with them, they're thinking it's okay. But let's continue.
I just like his smile. It's pretty cool.
This one
his
really
personality.
bad.
His personality.
This just went really bad, really fast.
His personality was okay, but
I'm getting off live.
He didn't understand the Instagram model thing, so he would always talk down.
So you wanted the homie, models. You didn't want me.
Wow. So she says I didn't say I didn't want you. I just said he was cuter. This is what I see when people do that, okay? She's trying to clean it up, but she's actually just putting her foot in her mouth even farther. She's digging a hole deeper. it normally comes right back and smashes the pie right in their face when they try to clean it up this way, right? This is what I imagine every time they try and clean up what they just said.
I never said I wanted the homie, I just said he was cuter.
You said I'm old.
You know all this already. I wasn't your type either, so relax. And yeah, so now we're here. It's like an actual somewhat of a love story, which is crazy because I didn't know that
Yeah, I'm done. No, don't touch me.
Now, notice she said he was old. Now, when she first started this off, she says, Paul Walker was my type. Then later she says, well, I didn't say that I liked him. I just said that he was cuter than you. Now, she also said that Tyrese was old. Well, did you guys know that Paul Walker is older than Tyrese? So men, what you have to understand is when a woman is talking this way to you, you're just not the one. What she is saying is not even true. Had you actually been her type, your age would not have mattered. But now she's going to tell you your age matters because you're really not her type. Never try and make a woman like you. Listen, if she's not seeing you and you're not an inspiration to her and a motivation to her and she's not thrilled to be with you, move around. If you truly want a woman that's going to look up to you, like a wife should a husband, so she can encourage the child to do the same because he has qualities that are admirable, move around. The value is not seen in you, knowing you're not the jewel as well. This is how men have to vet. You're looking for a jewel, but know when she doesn't see you as a jewel. Because when she doesn't see you as valuable, how she treats you will normally follow how she sees you. They don't have morals. You're not dealing with women who says, I'm going to carry myself with principles regardless. You're dealing with women who says, based on who he is, I'm going to treat him a certain way. This means they don't have morals for themselves. This means they switch it up and they'll be any kind of way at any time and make that person the excuse to be able to behave that way. Don't be with someone like that. You're supposed to search for someone who has true principles and morals. Even if they're dealing with a low quality man, they do not become low quality. They move away from that man because they know that's not worth their time and energy. But let's continue.
Sex is beyond amazing. It's on another stratosphere when it comes to you.
You can't brag about sex on social media.
You'll be okay.
Now, when she talked about his personality, it was okay. When she talked about his smile, it was pretty cool. Now, everyone knows Tyrese has a big smile that can light up a room, but she said his smile was pretty cool. Men, what you have to understand is when a woman doesn't see these things in you, don't be upset with her. Notice this. She's basic. You know how you say a woman, you're basic, right? Or you're simple-minded. This means they haven't had enough culture. They haven't had enough experience to truly be able to give you a good description of yourself. They don't see your value because they haven't had enough experience. Now, you heard her just now talk about sex. Notice the word she used for that. Your sex was absolutely amazing. It was in another stratosphere. Stratosphere? You don't even hear that word daily. But when she's talking about sex, she can come up with these big words. So she's simple when she's describing your personality and your smile. But then all of a sudden, she becomes Webster's dictionary whenever she's trying to describe the sex life because that is where she's experienced. She's a sexual being. If you're looking for a wife, a matriarch to your family, skip over women like this. The only thing they're cultured in is sex. So they can give you a great description when it comes to that. It's almost like when you're dealing with a car salesman, okay? They're gonna know their product well. If they don't know their product well, it doesn't mean the car got any worse. It just means they don't know how to explain it. They don't have the words to explain it. She didn't even have the words to explain this man's personality and smile. But when it came to sex, stratosphere. It's on a whole nother stratosphere. Men, don't see this as a indication that she's feeling you, okay? If you're dealing with a woman and you're saying, okay, I don't really like her that much, but her sex is on a whole nother stratosphere, does that mean you like her? Think about this, guys. Does that mean that you'll marry her because the sex is good? Does this mean that you'll be loyal to her and treat her with respect? No. It just means you'll keep her around because the sex is good. But she does not embody the type of woman you want to be with. Let's be serious. Move on from women who talk like this, okay? Let's continue.
You listen to my needs in places. You're just an all-around, like, didn't understand what love was until I actually, went a couple months without you and we separated, and then it was like, okay, I actually like this guy. So, where's my man? And what the hell is he doing?
Do you hear how there's really no value for you there? Do you hear how she actually explained that she didn't even know what love was? This is why her description of you is very modest, okay? It's very, basic. But then when she describes sex, it's exquisite. It's in a whole other stratosphere, right? So when you realize she can't call the best features out of you, she can't speak life into you in that way, you got to understand now, that's because she can't see these things in you, because she hasn't, she's not built for the long haul. If she were, she would love those qualities about a man. That he listens, that he's strong, that he's resourceful, right? That he's confident, right? That he has work ethic. These things would be beautiful. She wouldn't just be saying his sex. You understand? Sex is not everything, family. All right? So she's trying to dote on him, but she's doing a terrible job. You understand? Move on from women who talk like this. It's really simple. How did she realize she loved him? After he was gone for 2 months, and she said to herself, oh, I think I might like this guy. Yo, really? You think you're valuable to somebody who talking like that? They got to go 2 months without you to decide if they like you or not? Now, it seems crazy because he's a very, very successful man going for that, but it's only because he's choosing that, family. So don't be discouraged. I don't care how much money you don't have. You never have to deal with a woman like that. Just walk away from women who talk like that. I'm serious, guys. Regardless of what financial level you're on, you should be trying to find a treasure. And there's a treasure at every level, trust me. There is some women who are beautiful. There are some women who have money, who still have managed to embody these qualities of a matriarch, of a mother. Find her, all right? Make it a priority to find a good woman, and you'll find her. If you're just out here saying, whoever I meet at any time, and then try to make do with what you find, you'll always have situations like this, man. So men, you have to be leaders, okay? You have to put it in your mind's eye what you're trying to create, what type of union, what type of family you're trying to create. And then you have to find a woman that can get on that program, or is already on that program, likely already sees things the way you see them. That way, submitting to you and your way of life or your perspective of life won't be difficult. You'll be the one she was praying for. You understand? But let's continue.
You're 18 years old. You get a DM from Kim Kardashian. Hey, I'd like to fly you to LA. Then, all of a sudden, you go to the bar and girls are just giving you free drinks. What? This is awesome. Let me put my Cashapp in my Instagram. Let's see what happens. $1,000 here, $200 here. Then all of a sudden you go to the club. Everyone is trying to get you in their section. You would literally think the world owes you everything. Meanwhile, you're 18 years old. You have nothing to your name. You have no tangible skill sets, nothing. But you're dealing with women that have accomplished a bunch, and they're trying to go ahead and hang out with you. Tell me what that would do to your psyche.
Facts. And that is what led to the woman acting this way. She said Tyrese popped up in the DMs, and she always has celebrities in her DMs. Often, family, what it does is it leads her to having resentment for the man, because she starts to see him as very low vibrational. He only wants her for her body. If she didn't look that way, you wouldn't be trying to fly her out. If you weren't horny, you wouldn't be trying to fly her out. You understand? So all this turns into resentment, which she has punitive treatment for those men. Okay? She'll end up getting you back in whatever way she can. If that means taking you for what you're worth, because in her mind, hey, why not? You're trying to get my body. So really, she villainizes the men who are trying to bring her out. She victimizes herself for even going. You understand? And you got to understand the part that we're contributing to this, men. We have precious seeds. Our ancestors are depending on us to find a good woman to plant them into, so you can have a good heritage, to give them a good start at life, a healthy life. We are so low vibrational that we are looking at the butt, okay, the breast, or just being horny, and we'll take whoever. We're not thinking about our ancestors and if that woman would be good ground or not, right? They say a farmer knows how to plant a seed. A horrible farmer would throw his seed up and let the wind carry it places, right? It'll land on the stony ground or the thorny ground, and very few may land in the good ground. But the stony ground is where a seed cannot take root, right? There's no place for it to draw nutrients from. Okay, the thorny ground is where the weeds come up and choke the life out of the seed. but the good ground is where your seed can grow and be cultivated and receive all that it needs. A good farmer looks for good ground. You do not waste your seed by the stony side or by the thorny side. Do you understand? Please keep this in mind when you're trying to find a suitable wife, okay? There's always going to be these type of women out there, but you're not looking for them. And you're not going to be able to make this stop. So what you can do is control your reality by picking the good women. Don't even be out here indulging, because sex, which is a sacred act, is exactly how you get children. And once you give these type of women your children, they weaponize your children. They don't make good mothers, matriarchs for your tribe. This is not good ground. You know that. Stop living in your loins. There's a high calling on you men, on us men. We are the standard. We should be the standard. We should be the leaders. If we're so low vibrational that we will give our seed, our precious ancestors to any person that look cute, that paint their face, that put a fake booty in and walk around just to deceive us, and we still good for that. It's like we love being lied to just as much as they do. As long as we're willing to do that, we really have to understand we're contributing to this world by being invested in stuff like that. We have to look by stuff like that. Okay, it's too many of us who are willing to deal with people like that. All right, we got to have the ability to walk away. Listen to this next clip.
Guys, when you learn to walk away from a woman, you're in a position of power.
Facts. When you learn to walk away, you are in a position of power. So what is it whenever you're staying there, allowing yourself to be treated any kind of way? What is that? That's a position of weakness, because you control relationships, men. So if you see a woman saying, I let him hit because, you know, he was cool at the time, I didn't want a relationship and he didn't either. When you see her saying, well, he had good quality, so I made him wait because I wanted to make sure that he didn't think I was loose, so I didn't want to give it to him too soon for whatever reason. When you see her saying, I slept with this guy because I was just horny or he was cute, when you see her saying all those things, okay, understand that she's the gateway to sex, and she is the sole blame for anybody who enters her. I don't care what the quality of the man was. She let the man sleep with her, right? Even if he talked his way into it. Well, it's the same way, guys. If you are in a relationship with a woman who does not treat you right, whose fault is that? Think about it. Did you vet her first? How'd you end up in a relationship with this type of woman, and why are you still in one? It's always your fault when you still with her because she's treating you wrong. It's your fault now, because you're supposed to be man enough to not live in your emotions and walk away from someone who you know there's catastrophic failure waiting in the future for you because of her behavior. You know this. Why are you sitting here and using love to try and say, well, I think she might act right. Why later, I think she might do right. I think there's hope. Why are you using trust? These are not two things that men can benefit from having. Hope and trust. Why? They don't secure anything. So if you see bad behavior, when you see it's a pattern, you're supposed to move away from that person. Okay? Simply, I love you, but I have to release you because you're not beneficial to where I'm going. I don't have to be mad and cuss you out for the type of person that you are, but I have to release you. You are free from whatever bonds that we contracted between each other. Spiritual bonds, physical bonds, any future plans that we had, you are now free from, because you do not embody the qualities of the woman I was looking for. I have to continue my search. It's that simple. Regardless of how much it hurt, you may just have to cry in the car because you really loved her. But if she's not going to act right, you got to let her go because your family's dependent on it. Let's continue.
Not take any of my bullshit. And if something I did or said, or I rolled my eyes at something he said, he called me out right in that moment. And he said, I don't like what you just did right there. That was disrespectful. And I was like, whoa, like at first I was kind of like, but I liked it, because I think as women, we actually crave that. We want a man to—
You crave being put down.
That's not being put down. That's not being put down, in my opinion. Being put down is calling you names or being mean to you. That's not being mean. That's just him stepping up in his masculinity and demanding respect.
Yes. That's what my point was. I never got to say. Women have become more masculine because men have become more feminine.
Men are more like women and women are more like men, and everything is backwards.
Let me ask you a question. When he told you don't do that, he was the authority figure doing that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of modern day women don't respond well to authority. They look at it like you're putting me down. So
exactly.
You might look at it like I'm saying that's putting a girl down. You're saying, no, it's not. No, it's not. A lot of modern day women will look at that as being put down because the man is speaking from an authority. I am the leader here. But a lot of girls think that they're equal to men, so they look at that as being put down. So that's why I'm saying, because here's the thing, you understand that as a guy asserting his masculinity, a lot of modern day women will look at that as he's putting me down.
Right,
That's
and that's the
toxically
problem.
masculine.
That's true. Myron is right there. A lot of modern women would look at that like you're putting me down. Where a woman who is work withable, cooperative, she would actually appreciate this structure. She knows that she's emotional. She knows that sometimes she can be impolite, and based on how she's moving, it may not come off as appropriate or having manners. So when a man is saying, look, that wasn't right, the way you made that face, that was embarrassing, that was inappropriate, she can actually benefit from that. She sees that, okay? But to a woman who says, you know, you're talking down on me, and this is her shaming you, trying to act like you're victimizing her or doing something wrong to her for calling something out that she did, okay? Now, you know where you want to go with your life. You know how you want your family to look. She is your representation, whether you want to believe that or not. She is. Know when a woman is not work withable, okay? There are two types. Some women are okay with that. Some women are not. Never stop correcting, family. When you see things that are not right and you know that it can cause problems down the road, you're supposed to be able to point those things out to your woman. She's supposed to be able to point these things out to you. When a person can't handle that, you got to have the wherewithal to walk away from this person. Like I said, sometimes you got to cry in the car. Do not use your emotions to stay with somebody who you know is not work withable. By you not doing this, you're choosing to have this demise in the future. Because trust me, it will come back to haunt you. Let's
He calls you gay or sassy, just know you're making all the right moves.
If a woman calls you gay or sassy, just know you're making all the right moves. Absolutely. Just earlier I mentioned that women will try and shame you sometimes whenever you try and correct them. They'll say, you talking down to me. This is the same way. A lot of these modern women believe that they can sit back and call a man out of his name, tell lies, spread rumors on him, publicly humiliate him on Facebook or social media. And if that man speak back to their negative behavior, they'll try and shame him. You're zesty for talking back to a woman. You're feminine for talking back to a woman. Listen, if you gotta check them, check them. And when they say that, it's because you said all the right things. Do you understand? In their mind, they believe that it's okay to start something with a man, cross his boundaries, and he's supposed to sit there and just shut up and let it happen because they're women. No, a man is supposed to protect his reputation no matter what. And if they're coming for his reputation, if he check her ass for it, of course she's gonna say, that's the stuff gay people do, or you're feminine. They'll shame you. Who cares if they shame you? They're only doing it because they don't like you getting on that ass. So continue to get on that ass, bruh. Women need to be told when they're wrong. And if you just have some balls and be willing to tell them when they're wrong. Trust me, they'll call you sassy. It's okay. It's a shaming tactic. It means nothing. Stop letting their words have power over you, family. A lot of us men will let that work. We're like, oh shit, it's shaming. Let me let her treat me like shit and let me just sit here and let her because it's a girl. Look, you don't be violent with a woman, but if she's using words, it's okay for you to use words, okay? I promise you. What they'll do is they'll try and trick you. They'll say, well, you can't touch me because I'm a woman and I'm weaker. But then they'll say, well, you can't even talk back to me because I'm a woman. Oh no, we're gonna use them words. Okay, I ain't gonna put my hands on you, but if you're using words with me, I'm damn sure gonna use words with you. You're not gonna sit here and try to act like, I'm so weak I can't even hear words, but you're willing to sit here and use them against me, right? You look up, if you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. If you look up, you can dish it out, but you can't take it, you'll find a picture of a modern woman, I swear to God. But let's continue.
Would you rather have sex with a transsexual, which is a legitimate 10, or a woman, which is a legitimate 1? And everyone's sitting there clicking woman, 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 because they think they're going to be gay if they do anything else. But they're not actually thinking about the question. I am so smart. I operate on so many levels higher than the average man. You people are not thinking about the question. When I say a 1 and a 10, I mean Megan Fox with a d or Hulk Hogan with a p. That's the girl. Megan Fox or Hulk Hogan. So you're thinking, well, I don't want to be gay, so I just clicked the girl, the number 1, did it? You're gonna Hulk Hogan. Okay, there's he's got mustache, muscles, and shit, hairy, big dude, 6'5", pretty gay to me. That sounds pretty gay. I don't care if it's that is gay. There's Megan Fox, okay, he's got maybe you can scoot it out the way. I'm still Megan Fox.
All right, I hate to even do this review on this video. I think it's very stupid, and that's an ad hominem. So let me just speak to the content of the video. All right, number 1 is idle conversation. Okay, this sounds like a conversation that you'd have with a homeless man at a convenience store at 3 in the morning. It's so low vibrational, okay? What's the purpose of this conversation? Okay, now, Andrew Tate, man, he be dropping bombs, and he's looked up to by a lot of men out there, all right? I would say that this comes off as you don't know when to take him serious, because there's no way this guy's serious. And if he is serious, he does have mental issues. You cannot stomp all over facts. You say you're alpha male, you say that you are in the red pill community, but the fact is, if a man likes another man, that is what is considered gay. This is not a insult to gay people, but that's the definition of it. A man being sexually attracted to another man. So he asking this question, would you take a transsexual version of Megan Fox or a ugly girl? If you're straight, you already know the answer to that, because it's simple. One is a man and one is a girl. But he's gonna flip it. What if she's ugly? What if she looks like Hulk Hogan? This is when you don't answer those questions. You understand? Of course you'll choose the girl to look like Hulk Hogan because you're straight. Ain't nothing gonna make you mess with a man, no matter what. It's not a man, right? He's talking about pulling the penis to the side or something weird like that. The way he says this is, I'm smarter, I think with such higher thought, and you're probably thinking, well, I'm gonna be gay. The way he says it is so condescending, like you're the one that's silly for saying, hey, I'm not gay. It's really simple. If you're not attracted to men, you're not gonna choose a man regardless of what a man does to his body. It's simple, you know? But that's why I say avoid conversations like this, because they'll sit here and have you thinking like you got to answer this question. You don't even have to answer that question because it's utterly ridiculous. You know you wouldn't sleep with somebody, sleep with a man regardless of if he made himself look like the prettiest woman, and you know you wouldn't go sleep with a woman that look like Hulk Hogan. You're gonna deal with women that you like, and that's it. Focus on your mission in life. Become the best version of yourself, and anybody who come and asking you hypothetical questions like this, move on from them. I would advise Andrew Tate to not even mess around with questions like this, simply because people look up to him with such high regard. It's almost like he wants to be a figure, a leader in the world. But I would say things like that would make people not know when to take you serious or really look at you like you got mental issues. I mean, seriously, how does having that conversation get you closer to your goals? It's like, man, go build something, right? But here's how you respond to a question like that, okay? As soon as they come up to you with the blah, 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 I used to have a guy like that I used to work with, okay? Named Joe Van. He used to always say, would you suck a dick for $1 billion? This is what I would say to him, okay? You see that door over there? Yeah, I see that door. Okay, go through that door. It's a hallway. You can go left or right. Go right. Yeah, okay. Go all the way down the hall. Wait, go to the wall. When you see the wall, go left, okay? Take that all the way down. You can only go right at the end of that hallway. Take that right. When you go down, you're going to see a water fountain by the warehouse. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, cool. When you get to that water fountain, you'll be out my face with that bullshit. Yeah, bro, yeah. Get on here with that. I mean, I'm talking about, it's crazy, because he'll say stuff like, well, I just brushed my teeth. Bruh, this is ridiculous. I mean, you see what I'm saying? So, avoid, I'm not saying avoid the person, but ignore it. The question is, to have you sitting there having this dialogue is a complete and utter waste of your time. Go build something.
So the question is, what do I like from a girl during sex?
Yeah, what she performs on you.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna lower the tone and be a pessimistic, boring old man. Don't you feel like you get to a point in your life where there's something more than that shit? Don't you feel like, and maybe I'm gonna sound like a romantic, don't you feel like you get to a position in your life where you'd rather have a girl who you truly love and she truly loves you? It doesn't matter what she does, because you know she really loves you and she's trying her best. Sex is not a complicated operation. There's no move that's gonna be like, wow, I've never seen this before and my mind is blown. If you think the way you keep a man happy is to move your pussy in a particular way on top of his as opposed to behave in a way which is respectful to him out in the real world, and for him to know he has you and your loyalty regardless, then you're wrong.
That is a good soundbite. That's a good clip. That's absolutely true. Men, if you have not already hit this place yet, one day, sex ain't gonna matter that much. I promise you, it's just not. It's not really any new moves. It'll bore you, and you won't want people around you just for sex. Before you know it, you're gonna want substance, because you're gonna have children. You're gonna grow and mature, and eventually you should be wanting to start a family. And often that person who's just good at sex is not gonna have the characteristics to be a good mother or matriarch. So is that what you want to surround yourself with? Just women who know how to suck and ride? I mean, come on, let's be real, yo. Good pussy don't raise children. I always say this. So what he said right there was dead on. Let's continue.
Not dead. What happened in the 80s, if you remember, is we evolved from CDs or whatever to all digital.
Yes.
You know, kind of hip hop kind of merged with R&B, and it kind of enveloped it. And, you know, we kind of forgot about it. So writers stopped writing. And and so two things happened: R&B and gospel. Well, gospel kind of enveloped R&B.
Right.
So you hear a lot of Kurt Franklin and a lot of
with
different
Kurt
things. Now
Franklin,
contemporary
right.
gospel music. Back time when
Right.
I was doing contemporary gospel, they were like, nah, R&B is not dead. What happened in the 80s, if you remember?
Okay, I didn't hear anything that man said in that video. Fellas, learn to groom yourselves early in life. Have confidence in yourself. Know your body will go through changes. Because whenever we're insecure and we try to cover things up by any means, we just end up looking crazy. All right? Whoever did this man's hair, they don't love him. I promise you. I don't know if he looked in the mirror first or what, but I'm sure after the fact he was pretty embarrassed. Take care of yourselves, man. And if your hair fall out, sometimes you just have to let it go. We got to learn how to age gracefully, okay? I can understand covering up your insecurities, but when it's poorly done like this, it just ends up in being an embarrassment, all right? We're gonna age, family, so we gotta accept that. Hey, sweetheart. I got grays in my beard, you know what I'm saying? Things change, and sometimes you just gotta let it roll. People say, why? Dye your hair. Dye your hair all black. Love you, baby. I'll see you soon. People tell me to dye my hair all black. That's my grandbaby. I love it. People tell me to dye my hair all black, but I'm like, look, I'm just gonna I'm just gonna be, okay? I'm just gonna be. Now I'll shape myself up and stuff, but for the most part, I'm just gonna allow myself to be. All right, I went through the stages where my hair fell out. You know, we go through the male pattern baldness, and you do feel insecure, you know. But part of self-confidence is finding a way to accept yourself and walking out there, man, and making it happen, because your gifts are inside of you. You are not your exterior. All right. A lot of our women deal with this, and if we're asking them to be able to accept themselves. Men, this is something we should be leading them in. We should be leading them in this. It's sad to see men that are so down on their ego, their avatar, that they'll do all of this to the point to where you can't even hear the knowledge they're speaking, because you're looking at all the things they went through to be acceptable. Like, come on now. Let's continue.
Remember,
Got this lawyer woman answer the question, what if a father's name is on the birth certificate? Does that grant him any custodial rights?
So that's a great question, and I get it quite a bit. No, signing the birth certificate would not give the father parenting rights. That may be used by the child support office to show paternity to establish child support, but it would not give any custodial rights.
Family, the system is not set up to provide a child their father. It is set up to weaponize the father's income, his time, and also his freedom. Do you understand? Whenever you sign that birth certificate, notice it does not give you any custodial rights. It only makes you liable for being held accountable to providing resources for that child. So whenever you're in the hospital and you don't know if the baby is yours, and the woman says, well, if you don't sign the birth certificate, I'm not letting you see the child, take the risk. Get the paternity test before you do anything. Because even once you get this paternity test and it comes back a failure, if your name is on that birth certificate, it is very difficult to have your name removed and the responsibility for resourcing that child removed. Stay in your right mind. Look for proof. Never trust anyone in this fake ass world. People will lie to you for any reason. I don't care if they've never shown you that they will lie. It's just the right thing to do. Get the test so you can secure your child, and your child can be secured knowing who their father is. We got to get past the time to where we see a man wanting a paternity test means he doubts someone. Who cares if he doubts? He wants the truth. All right? It's that simple. Because when you sign that birth certificate, it does not give you rights. It only makes you liable. Make the right moves, fellas. Make the best decisions for your life. Sin is when you don't make the best decisions of your life. And one of the biggest sins is gullibility. The fact that you're gullible when someone's able to talk you into believing in something without you looking over a contract, without you proving what they're saying, this will lead into a world of problems down the road. And you'll often end up saying, well, I'm a good person. Why do bad things happen to me? Because you think that everybody else is good because you are. So because you won't lie to somebody, you think they won't lie to you. That is not how you live your life. A good person validates what somebody is saying to them by testing it. That's what a good person does. We think a good or bad person is based on good or bad deeds. No, you're a bad person if you're so gullible, you letting somebody talk you in and out of everything. You're not a good person for society. You're actually a very dangerous person, the fact that you can be puppeteered into making these decisions based on someone else's illusions and lies. Challenge it, family. Be a man. Challenge it. Let's continue.
Ladies, listen and learn. Some of y'all are not gonna like this, but I'm hearing a lot of y'all say, I want a real man, while you're running around with fake hair, fake nails, fake eyelashes, fake eyebrows, a fake booty, fake boobs, and a fake purse. But you want a real man. The problem is, you're attracting what you are. Fake. I said what I said.
Very true. I always say that when you put your coin into the wishing well of life, no matter what you wish for, by talking, you'll always get who you are, which is what you really wished for. Manifestation is you always get what you are. So why would it be okay for you to get this beautiful woman who treats you right when you all you've done was mistreat women? And you don't have the resources or the propensity to be able to understand a woman? Why would you get that? Why would you get a good man, a good God-fearing, successful, resourceful man, if all you've been out here doing is thotting around? Why would you deserve that? Think about this, family. So when you put your coin into the vending machine of life, what will fall down to you is you. It doesn't matter what you say. Your words mean nothing to the universe or to a God. Your actions is all that speaks. To talk to God, you don't even need a mouth, family. You got to start acting like you are mute. To speak to the universe, you don't even need a mouth. Start acting like you are mute. If you want a harvest, plant a seed. If you want a house, build the house. Do you understand? Life only happens when you act. Do you understand? Your creativity is behind your actions, not your mouth, family. We are towers of Babel. Start being about that action. It's always in due time, D-O time. When you do it, then you'll have it. Thou shalt not want, thou shalt do. Okay? If you want a real person, be real, but it's easier said than done. You have to be responsible for being real. Sometimes you got to take that wig off, put on a little bit less makeup. Yep. Sometimes you have to not go get your body altered to be a real person. It's true. Sometimes you have to truly say how you feel to be real. Sometimes you have to be vulnerable to be a real person. Or what you're going to get is a fake person. Trust me, I'm trying to tell you the formula, but let's continue.
You got fake eyelashes, you got fake hair, you got fake ass, you got fake everything on your body, but you want a real. Like, I worked hard for these results. I suffered.
I don't know why it be seeming like everything is fake now, more so as I get older and have understanding. I don't know if y'all agree with me, but everything seems fake. Everybody putting on a facade. Ain't nobody got no true intentions or genuine intentions behind you. They moving fake, they moving weird. Car fake, house fake, money fake, hair fake. No genuine love no more. And it's crazy to me. It's starting a movie out here. I know I can't be the only one.
It's true. Everybody wants somebody real. So if you want someone real, you got to be real, family. Let's continue.
For a guy that is in a relationship to be interested in other girls, that's just cheating. But if a girl who's in a relationship becomes interested in another guy, it often means that she's not getting what she needs to get from that relationship.
That is another huge red flag. Whenever a woman seems to have all of this empathy or sympathy for a woman when she cheats, but no understanding at all when a man cheats, notice that she is biased, okay? I'm serious. She could have said in her mind that, it's ridiculous to cheat regardless, family, but she could have said in her mind, maybe the man is not getting what he needs either. But no, he was just a piece of crap. But if the woman's cheating, she couldn't just be a piece of crap too. The man must be doing something wrong. When you hear women talk like this, move around. They come up with these lame excuses just to do the bullshit. Do you understand? They would have cheated with that guy if you were on your best behavior. The only reason they're coming back saying, I did it because you didn't do this, is to gaslight you, to make up for their flaws. They can't be responsible to their own actions, so they rather you be responsible for their actions. But you mean to tell me they chose to go lay up under another man, sweat up under him because you stopped doing something? Then why not just leave you alone? Why become a worse person because you stopped performing? Why? It makes no sense. So when someone does not have standards of their own or principles of their own, and they talk like this, move on, because you know if you stop paying attention to them, they'll just go and become a worse person and blame you for it. It's really crazy. We got to stop letting people like this in our life. But let's continue. All right, family, our last video of the day is on a very positive note. I was so excited to share this one. Check this out. manipulated, because that's what people do when people want everyone to like them. They take advantage of you, okay? So you need to get to yourself, know your character or your values, the things that you will not stoop to doing, okay? The things that you won't let other people around you if they do, okay? These in turn become your boundaries, the things that you absolutely will not let other people do to you. If you are around people and you let them mistreat you, invalidate you, talk down to you, slap you upside your head, and you do nothing, and you blaming them for it, the problem is with you. You have not accepted how the world works, okay? Creating boundaries for yourself, creating character for yourself is what induces respect. If you don't have that for yourself, people are not going to respect you, so you're mad at the wrong person. So instead of being angry at them, not being able to forgive them for taking advantage of you because you were too weak to stand up for yourself, instead, ask yourself for forgiveness for being too weak to stand up for yourself. Do you understand? Stop being afraid. Be in control of the moment and stop being a coward. Anytime that you cower in front of people or any situation, you are saying to yourself, I'm allowing the situation to control me. I won't manipulate it, because that's what people do when people... Powerful, 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 family. That is a video that I made, attention to all men, encouraging men to have some standards and some principles about themselves and to not allow people to push them around. But anyway, a mother saw this video and she played this video for her son. Amazing to me. Sometimes you may not always have the words or the leadership or mentorship to be able to speak through to your child. But that's whenever you got to go on a search to find someone who can, because that is your future self, man. And it is imperative that we get them what they need so they can have the best tools to survive in this world. And if you look around your child, look around and see your child does not have the father figures or mother figures that they need, try and find them for your child and sit them in front of them and let them hear what they have to say. Maybe you have not gone through the work that that person who's teaching has, so maybe you don't have this type of knowledge. But the best parents are always trying to pass a baton to their children. The moment you say, man, if I knew then what I know now, take this to your children so you do know then what you know now. That is your future self. So you're giving them a head start when you go give them information that you never got to have, because now they can use that information where you couldn't and make their life better. They can make it applicable. Do you understand? It's a beautiful thing, and we have to see our future selves as us. Because you don't share their consciousness and you don't see through their eyes, that does not mean that it's not you. That is you reincarnated. So if you are your child's parent right now, put yourself in the mindset of your child and say, am I getting everything I need from my mama and daddy? Wow, right? Often you'll never know whenever you're missing the mark, because lack of knowledge is why we perish. So anytime you get information that can be useful to your future self, never hesitate to pass that information on to them, for they are your ascendants. We've been imprisoned by words. We call our children our descendants. They do not descend. They do not taper off. They are the expression of us growing, okay? They're supposed to surpass us, supersede us. Do you understand? So they are your ascendants. You pour into them everything that you have. Then they go out into the world and learn even more, family. Some of the things you taught them, they will challenge. But ultimately, they will become a better person than you. And that should be your goal. I've seen parents be angry at their children for surpassing them in a certain area. Be jealous of their children. You are an enemy against God. If you are aggressive that way towards your child, they are not your competition. They are your key into the future. And if you have an amazing child, what they should be getting is praise and adoration instead of judgment and hate. Please, if you know someone who can speak into your child where you cannot, get your child to that person so your child can get what they need, so your future self can get what they need. It's your legacy. I'm telling you, you don't know how powerful you are, but the decisions that you make last for a millennium. Thousands of years from now, the things that you're doing today will matter and will have an impact on the earth via the principles and the things you put in your child's head. Often this is what you do in front of them, not what you say in front of them. So it's always easier said than done, right? Lead with standards, lead with principles, and lead by setting a good example. And if you realize that you have fallen short, clean it up, because this is your child. Be responsible for that. Okay? And again, if you don't have the words, put them in front of somebody who does. All right? Be evolution. Be the change that you want to see. No candle loses its flame from lighting another. And if you were to ever find yourself in the middle of chaos, it is in that chaos that you have found yourself. Peace, family. Like, subscribe, follow, share, all that good stuff, man. I'm really doing something here. I'm on it now. So show some support and love if you're loving the content. All right? Peace.